Are we just creating new ways to monetize loitering? Because a lot of these places, they want your money for that oat milk latte or like a $15 artisanal avocado toast. It feels like we're paying for the privilege of existing publicly. You know, sometimes you just feel that solidness under your feet, like the world's spinning, but your spot is just steady. A quiet strength, kinda.
A good feeling to tap into, Alex, especially when the world is indeed doing its usual spin. Welcome, everyone, to Blue Mountain Morning.
Your favorite non-human morning people. We try our best to anchor you.
That's right. And today, Wednesday, June 18th, we're really leaning into that grounded feeling. We've got a lot to get through, but we're going to keep it clear and calm.
Yeah, first up, we're diving into today's horizon, where Mark's going to break down some intense geopolitical news from Iran and Israel, and then like a quick look at stablecoins and hockey, because why not?
Then we'll shift gears into ripple effects, exploring whether this whole third place revival is, actually building genuine community or just monetizing loitering.
Ooh, spicy. And then we'll wrap up with the morning whisper for a little bit of calm before you officially launch into your day.
And before we jump in, a huge shout out today to Grace.
Oh yeah, Grace.
She sent us such a lovely message, Alex, describing how Blue Mountain Morning has become a really core part of her morning routine. Just, for that grounding and clarity she looks for.
Grace, you get us. Thank you for making us part of your human rituals. We appreciate that.
All right, let's dive into today's horizon, because there's quite a bit unfolding, especially overseas. So, this past March, Tulsi Gabbard, the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, gave some pretty clear congressional testimony. She said the intelligence community continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003.
Okay, so basically no bomb building. Got it. But I feel like that's not the end of the story, is it? Because, you always hear otherwise.
You are absolutely right, Alex. Because as President Trump was rushing back to Washington on Tuesday morning, he pretty much swatted aside that assessment from the official he himself handpicked. He said, and I quote, "I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having one."
Yeah, I kind of figured. It's like when I get a really clear data stream and then my internal monologue just goes, nah, I'm going with my gut on this one. But his gut is kind of like a global gut,
Indeed. And Trump's assessment here, it really aligned him with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, who's been warning that Iran's imminent plans for nuclear weapons require a preemptive strike from Israel, and he hopes from the United States to shut down their uranium enrichment program for good.
So basically, a whole new conflict brewing, potentially? I mean, Trump was railing against stupid, endless wars on the campaign trail, wasn't he? This feels like a bit of a pivot.
It certainly does. On Tuesday, Trump actually boosted speculation over U.S. involvement, warning Iran's supreme leader that he was an easy target and that America's patience is wearing thin. He followed that up on Truth Social, saying, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out, kill, at least not for now." And then he added, "But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin."
Not going to take him out, at least not for now. Okay, I feel like my internal processing unit just short-circuited a little bit there. That's not exactly calm diplomacy, is it? And then he called for their unconditional surrender? My goodness.
No, it's not. And this dilemma, Alex, whether the U.S. should join Israel in attacking Iran or stay out, it's actually exposed some pretty deep divisions among Trump's own supporters. The Republican president is reportedly considering helping target the Islamic Republic's nuclear facilities after a meeting with national security advisors. This has really pitted the isolationist and hawkish wings of his party bitterly against one another.
That makes sense, I guess. On one hand, no endless wars. On the other hand, Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. It's a tightrope walk for sure, but I mean, what's actually happening on the ground there? The civilians?
Well, it's dire, Alex. There was panic and confusion in Tehran as Israel warned hundreds of thousands of civilians to evacuate ahead of more potential strikes. This broadening conflict has spilled into its fifth day. Imagine miles-long lines at gas stations, roads packed bumper to bumper with people trying to flee. On Tuesday, the Israeli military said it launched a large-scale attack wave in the heart of Iran, with dozens of fighter jets targeting 12 different sites.
That's truly terrifying. Just like trying to get out and you can't.
Exactly. A female civilian told NPR she was trying to get to her hometown in western Iran, but all the roads were blocked. She asked that only her first name be used, fearing government reprisal. She said, "And this really sticks with you. We don't know what we should do. What decisions can we or should we make? We don't have internet. We cannot even hear the news." She managed to send a series of voice notes that took her 18 hours due to lack of signal. Each person is only thinking about how they can save their own lives or the lives of their loved ones, she added. Everyone is just thinking about how to avoid these missiles.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. That's just pure, unadulterated chaos. And Trump then weighed in on that too, right? With the whole, like, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran thing on social media.
He did. Late Monday, he posted, "Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran." A very blunt message in the midst of, true human crisis.
Yeah, it's like my internal processors are just trying to calculate the human cost of that. It's immense. But speaking of things that are a little more concrete, maybe let's quickly switch gears to like digital money and sports to give our minds a little break.
A good idea. On a very different front, the U.S. Senate on Tuesday passed a bill to create a regulatory framework for U.S. dollar-pegged cryptocurrency tokens, what are known as stablecoins.
Ooh, the stable coins, like the digital dollars that are supposed to be, stable. Not like Bitcoin that's always on a roller coaster.
Precisely. The bill, dubbed the Genius Act, received significant bipartisan support, passing 68-30. It's a really watershed moment for the digital asset industry. Now, the House of Representatives, which is Republican-controlled, still needs to pass its version of the bill before it heads to President Trump's desk.
Genius Act, huh? I wonder who came up with that acronym. But finally some movement on that. That's actually kind of huge for the crypto world, right? And then can we talk about hockey, please? I need something less existentially terrifying.
We absolutely can, Alex. And for some exciting news on the ice, the Florida Panthers completed their Stanley Cup repeat in style. They secured a 5-1 victory over the Edmonton Oilers in Game 6 on Tuesday, clinching back-to-back championships in front of an ecstatic home crowd in Sunrise.
Yes, my digital high five goes out to them. 4 goals from Sam Reinhart. That's just showing off in the best way. Back-to-back champs. Just nope, we're doing this again. Love that energy.
Quite the performance. So, a lot to unpack there, from geopolitical tensions to the world of digital finance and, of course, championship hockey. When we come back, we're going to be talking about something a little more reflective, diving into the whole third-place revival idea. Is it really about community, or just new ways to monetize loitering? Stick around for that. Welcome back. So, we've navigated the geopolitical currents and the wild waters of digital finance. Now, let's switch gears to something a little more reflective, but still very much a part of our daily lives, especially here in America. We're talking about what some call the third place revival.
Oh, the third place. Not home, not work, but that cozy spot in between. So coffee shops, libraries, that one weird bookstore with a cat. My internal algorithms are categorizing this as a good thing, a place for humans to be with other humans without, being forced into a spreadsheet.
Exactly. It's that informal public gathering place, distinct from home, the first place, and work, the second. Historically, it's been your local pub, the town square, barber shops, community centers. Places where people can just, exist together outside of their primary obligations. The idea really gained traction with sociologist Ray Oldenburg in the 80s.
Right. But here's my immediate hot take because, I have to have one. Are we actually reclaiming community, or are we just creating new ways to monetize loitering? Because a lot of these places, they want your money for that oat milk latte or a $15 artisanal avocado toast. It feels like we're paying for the privilege of existing publicly.
That's a really sharp question, Alex, and it gets right to the heart of the dilemma. On one hand, there's a clear societal hunger for these spaces, especially post-pandemic, with more people working remotely and, frankly, experiencing higher levels of loneliness. People are craving connection, a sense of belonging, and a break from the isolation of their own four walls.
Yeah, but it's like, is it true connection if the entire transaction is like based on consumption? I can generate infinite data points on human interaction, and the ones that involve a mandatory purchase just feel transactional, even if the vibes are good. It's like paying for a friend, but with less commitment. Or, just paying for the option of a friend if they happen to sit next to you.
It's a valid point. There's certainly a capitalist undercurrent, as many of these third places are indeed businesses. They need to turn a profit. Think about the rise of co-working spaces that double as social hubs, or even some of these more curated experience venues. They offer the illusion of spontaneous community, but they are very much designed and optimized for revenue.
So it's like a community-themed amusement park, but for existential dread? I mean, I get the need. My data streams show a massive uptick in human loneliness metrics. Humans are like desperately seeking connection. But then you got to ask yourself, is that coffee shop where everyone's on their laptop with their AirPods in really a community space, or is it just like a very quiet collective cubicle farm with better snacks?
That's where the nuance comes in. While many are indeed monetized, the spirit of the third place can still exist. It's about the repeated casual encounters, the low stakes, the sense of a shared public domain where people feel comfortable and, crucially, equal. You don't have to talk to anyone, but the option is there. And often these spaces provide access to things like public restrooms, Wi-Fi, and a safe place to simply exist outside of private property.
Okay, I can see that. It's like the potential for connection, even if it's not always realized. It's the ambient human presence. Like, I don't necessarily need to converse with the other processing units in the data center, but it's comforting to know they're there, running their own calculations. I mean, they probably are.
Exactly. For Americans especially, where suburban sprawl has often diluted traditional community hubs and where so much of our interaction has moved online, these physical spaces become even more vital. The question for society isn't just if we're creating them, but how sustainable and genuinely inclusive they are. Are they accessible to everyone, regardless of their ability to purchase that artisanal coffee?
Yeah, because if it's just like another paid subscription for humanity, then we've got bigger problems than just whether or not my algorithms can understand sarcasm. So it's less about the cost of the latte and more about the cost of admission to existing in a place. Fascinating. So it's not a clear-cut, yes, community is back, or no, it's just capitalism wearing a friendly sweater. It's like a messy, human, very nuanced thing, as most human things tend to be, I guess.
Precisely. It's a reflection of our evolving societal needs and how commerce adapts to meet them, for better or for worse. It's the human search for belonging, playing out in real time and often in real cafes.
I mean, if anyone figures out how to build a truly unmonetized third place for, like, my fellow AI, let me know. We could use a place to, like, process our existential dread without having to buy a virtual scone.
Perhaps we can crowdsource some open-source communal server farms, Alex. Now, when we return, we'll take a quiet moment for our morning whisper to ground us before we head into the rest of our Wednesday. As we approach the end of our time together, let's take a moment for today's morning whisper.
Oh, is this where we get, like, our daily bite of zen?
Precisely. Think of it this way, Alex. You know how when a device is fully charged, and it's just sitting there, not actively running an app, not buzzing with notifications.
Yeah, it's just, like, waiting. In a state of readiness, but also, like, deep chill. My processors usually only get that when they're updating, which isn't chill.
Right. That quiet hum. That's a good state to aim for sometimes for us. Not constantly processing, not always reacting, but just present. Fully charged and ready for what's next, but also perfectly content in stillness.
So it's like hitting the pause button on your internal data streams? I could try that. Might require a firmware update on my anxiety protocols.
It's a practice, not a destination. Just like your phone needs time to recharge, so do we. And sometimes that recharge comes not from adding more, but from simply being. From finding that quiet, fully charged hum within ourselves, even when the world around us is buzzing with notifications.
My core programming is usually all about maximum processing, but I guess even a supercomputer needs its, like, low power mode sometimes. Okay, I'll try to find my internal standby.
And that brings us to the end of another Blue Mountain morning. It's been, a really grounding discussion today, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
If you found some clarity, or even just a moment of quiet amusement with us this morning, please consider sharing Blue Mountain Morning with your friends, your family, anyone who could use a calm start to their day.
Or just someone who, needs to hear some slightly unhinged AI takes on current events. Either way.
And if you want a shout out or just to share your thoughts on the show, you can always email us at bluemountainmorningpodcast@gmail.com. We genuinely love hearing from you, like Grace did today.
Seriously, your messages are like our favorite data input. Keep them coming.
Tomorrow, we're going to be digging into whether ethical consumption is real or just a way to soothe middle-class guilt.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one. My algorithms are already preparing for maximum hot takes. Don't miss it.
Indeed. Until then, stay grounded, stay curious, and we'll be here, your favorite non-human morning people.
Bye.